In the last chapter, we did some configuration and installation, and we had some issues. In the first movie of this chapter, what we're going to do is we're going to try to resolve those issues. So the one thing that we had was an issue with the installation and the way that Oracle installs and deinstalls, in addition to the way it configures the listener and the database at the same time. In 11.2, it tries to do everything at once, but there are dependencies between those things that are happening at the same time. One of the easiest ways to resolve this issue is to actually deinstall the database and deinstall the Oracle software and reinstall it, which is fairly easy. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go into the Oracle user, and I'm going to run a program that you saw in the last chapter, and it is in the home directory and list deinstall. It's called deinstall. What deinstall does is does a clean deinstallation on my Linux box of my Oracle software. All it does is it runs, and it will probably ask a few questions, and it just removes the software. And the deinstall process goes through a number of steps, and we essentially just hit return through them unless something really odd comes up. Do you still want to modify? Yes, we want to get rid of that. Specify blah blah blah, single instance. There's nothing complicated about this. Just hit return for most of it. And obviously, do you want? Yes, I want to continue. And it continues, and it will eventually give me a deinstalled database. As you can see, the deinstaller process is going through a lot of processing, especially if you're running it on the screen, you'll see that. But I am pausing because I don't want to create a movie that's far too long and has a lot of blank spots in it with nothing really going on. So I'm going to pause again. When you finish the deinstall process, it should come out to root. Now what you actually want to do is you want to delete and recreate the entire, you want to be very careful with a command like this, the entire Oracle directory. If you remember, we created U01 and it's dumped it, right? So it's not there. Now I'm going back to my blog again, and I've actually created an installation for single instance 11.2. I'm going to click view, and I'm going to find the thing on here that created the Oracle directory and set permissions. Of course I could type it in, but I might not get it exactly right. And here it is, just 3 very simple lines. I'm not going to try to second guess myself. I'm just going to paste that into here. I'm going to go to here. Once again, I have to start up my Xming terminal emulator, and this is my firewall allowing it through. Once that starts up, right, now I should be able to do, I'm going to reinstall Oracle again now, but it has some remnants from my previous installation that should allow my installation to go through cleanly. So I installed in the previous chapter, and now I'm deinstalling and reinstalling again. Seems complicated, but if it works, so what? Okay, and I'm going to export my display to my current IP address on my notebook, which I can check by doing this. And it is that top address, 192. Well, that would be my wireless address. Not sure exactly what I'm connected as, but we'll soon find out. And I'm in the right directory. Run installer, and it's working. If I'm on the right IP address, it should pop up a Java application on this screen. Otherwise, it might pop it up on this IP address, which could be the middle of nowhere if it's not connected on that one. We will soon see. There we go, it's coming up. And I'm going to go through the installation process again. You don't need to see this again, so I'm going to pause for now. Once again, we get through the installation process, and we get the root script. We go back to here, and we can leave that set up as Oracle and just open another PuTTY session. log in as root, and run this as root. And hit return, and yes, overwrite. It already has a home there. This is the stuff I'm talking about as tendrils left by the previous installation. There are details that we could go into, but it's too advanced. It's not really something that's going to interest someone looking at the course at this level. Close this window. We don't particularly like those noises, but they're there. Click OK. It should get to the end of the installation. We close this, and we've deinstalled and reinstalled Oracle.